Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Summers Up podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Okay. Today, we've got not one, but two rising stars in the world of business, tech, and beyond. First up, Manasvi, an Ivey HBA candidate, finance leader, and co-head of finance at Prospective Medical Professionals. She's also a former young delegate with Young Politicians of Canada, a Colonel by IB graduate, and the co-host of the Open Loop podcast, where she dives deep into big ideas and fresh perspectives. And joining her is Lina, a computer science and math student at Eindhoven University of Technology in the Netherlands, a winner of Ottawa's 21 Under 21 RBC Award, a former host and president of InnoStation, and of course, a co-host of the Open Loop podcast herself. Together, they're proving that finance and tech don't just coexist, they spark conversations, build communities, and challenge the way we think about the future. Manasvi and Lina, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having us.
If you guys want to introduce
Thanks for having
yourselves
us.
briefly.
I feel like you did a pretty good job of summarizing up everything. But hi, everyone. I'm Manasvi. I'm doing BMOS first year and then hopefully IB in third and fourth year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the introduction was covered most of it. But yeah, hi everyone. My name is Lina, and yeah, I recently moved to the Netherlands, and yeah, I guess I used to run InnoStation, and now I'm mostly focused on school and the podcast.
Okay. Well, that's nice to hear. I also like the introduction of you. That was really good. I'd like to start off the podcast today with asking each of you girls why you chose your program of what you wanted to do. Like for you, Manasvi, why did you choose BMOS and then hopefully go into IB, and you two with mathematical computer science? Yes, Manasvi, you can go first.
Okay. Honestly, I wasn't the best at math growing up, which kind of like cuts off a lot of possibilities when you are looking at future careers, because almost everything includes math. Like even finance, like ultimately comes down to math, but it's math that I'm more comfortable with. And so I decided to go with finance because my mom's an accountant, by the way. So I've kind of been like, I saw business like growing up a lot. And I took accounting in high school, and I hated it. So aside from accounting, I felt like finance was like the better option for me. I'm enjoying it so far. Like BMOS has been going pretty good. I decided to do BMOS as my undergrad just because I wanted to get started with business right away. I know for Ivy you can do like any undergrad that you want, but for me, like I was kind of set on business, so it made sense for me to go directly into it with BMOS.
Yeah, I guess similar to Manasvi, there was a bit of family influence, I guess. My dad is a professor in computer science. So I tried so hard. No, actually. So like in around like end of elementary school, I was like, I'm gonna do something different than my parents. I had no particular like family pressure in the sense of you should become this or you have to do this. So it was very much like, okay, I'm gonna find my own thing. And then I did like try a bunch of things, and then it was like computer science throughout. Yeah, so computer science, I guess, is my main interest at the moment. Math, to be honest, wasn't really like in the plans, but it's one of two double degrees offered at my university. So I was like, why get one degree when you can try to get two? It was also like a bit of like wanting a personal challenge. So yeah, I guess higher gross load. But also, like jokes aside, I think there's like I want to have a technical background even if I don't end up in a technical industry or a technical like career path. Um, I don't know. I feel like with AI and everything, I really, really want a strong technical background. So I'm taking like at least my undergrad to do that.
First, gonna ask you guys, wait, each of your things, are they 4-year degrees or 5 years? Years is
Mine's
4 years.
Mine is
4 years.
3.
4 years. At 3 years. Okay. I also know, Lina, you mentioned that you were in the
Yes.
Netherlands. So I guess that could like play a factor into the amount of years you might have to do. What made you choose to go into the Netherlands opposed to like staying here in like Canada?
Well, I guess the number of years was one of the main motivations. My program would take like about 5 years at U Ottawa, mainly because like summers are longer, and here we have like, fewer breaks. So no reading weeks. No, I think we have 7 weeks in summer. Yeah, if there are resits for like the final term, that's like 3 weeks. So it's like more and more condensed. I don't do well over long stretches. Like by the last year of high school, I was worn out. It's like I need some change of phase after a couple of years. So 4 years is a bit like just too long and too stretched out. And it was like I opted for 3. And yeah, I was born in the Netherlands as well. So it was also a bit like reconnecting with parts of my childhood and trying, like I'm grateful for the opportunity to integrate and like spend time in Canada, but I also wanted to get into this part as well and family, I guess.
Wait, you said you're part like Dutch? Like your family's from the
No, I was
Netherlands?
born here, but I have family here.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Okay, well, I was also gonna ask you guys. So I know that like mainly when people like try to choose their majors, because you guys are both in your first year, right? Or going in your first year, okay. I was gonna ask because most people when they choose their majors, they have like one goal in mind, like, hey, let me try and find a job. I know it's pretty lucrative at the end of the road. I know, like for Lina with computer science, I know a lot of computer science majors. I was gonna almost go into computer science, and that was like one of my main motivators to maybe choose it. So I was gonna ask you all, like, and you can also answer this, Namir. Was your motivation for choosing your program like a financial like help like at the end of the thing, or was it more so like a passion type driven where this was something you wanted to always do from maybe like a young age or maybe an experience that might happen that made you choose it? Hey, Selena, you can go.
I feel like okay, so my one different program, it was pretty much like anything except something related to biology. Like I genuinely don't mind anything at the moment. Like, okay, this is too premise. I know it might sound off, but like I'm
That
so
kind of hurt
sorry.
me.
It's the one thing that I cannot. Like, it's just I don't know. I don't really enjoy it. I can barely name body parts, like the basic ones in
That's
English.
fine.
So
That's
it's
fine.
like it's not like yeah. So also memorization is not really my thing, but I also did have an interest in the humanities, like political science and law were also like a genuine consideration at different points for me. But ultimately, what I considered was like it's easier, or I want to have a technical background of something. That was like really, really like important for me. But also personally, it was knowing that like if I went for the humanities for my undergrad and not after, it would be because I'm fearing a bit of the hard work of the technical aspect of like the math and the computer science aspect. So it was also like being honest with myself. Like it was just a question of like, did I want to put in the work for I guess math, which yeah, I did end up going into it, but like it's constantly like there's a bit of fear there. I think my greatest fear right now is proofs, mathematical proofs. Yeah.
You're already doing
Oh my
proofs in
god,
first year?
my linear algebra 1 for us is like 95% proofs, 5% computations.
Jesus. Wait, have you started discrete math and stuff like that yet or not?
Not like we have a sets and logic course, but that apparently covers like half of the discrete structures course in science. So it's a bit like super intense from the get-go. Calculus is also like it's mostly stuff from high school, but like a lot of new theoretical like definitions coming in. For linear algebra, I think we already went into like theoretical vector spaces. Um, yeah, so yeah, very intense.
Yeah, it's intense. I understand. I understand. Manasvi, what would you say your thing's more so like passion and stuff like that, or is there
I
something
think
else
it was
that
I think it was a mix of both. Like, this is gonna sound kind of weird, but honestly, growing up, like I never really had like a passion for a job. Like there wasn't like a career that I was like, I can't see myself doing anything except like this. Like I never really had that. Like I was kind of open to everything. If you kind of like look at my resume right now, I pretty much have dabbled in like all the fields, and I feel like that's kind of me as a person. Like I'm not really niched in that sense. Like I kind of like I like everything basically. And so because my mom's an accountant, she was like, maybe this is something that you're interested in because she's on the business side. So it was basically my family suggested that would be a good fit for me. And I was cool with that. I was like, that's fine. So I kind of went with it. But I also do think like it's a field that I'm like interested in, but also has like the financial prospects coming out of it. So it was kind of like a mix of everything and basically the fact that I had no passion, but it was like, yeah, kind of everything. Yeah.
So, okay, so like you'd say like you're, because what I could understand from like you saying, because you said you've done like a bunch of things. In my eyes, that like seems like you were like trying to either see like your passion or you just like liked a bunch of everything and you wanted to try and find like your thing that really stuck out to you. Do you think you found something like that yet, or you still think you're
Like,
searching for it?
I am really into business. Like, I definitely do think like the major that I chose. Honestly, one of the things that I was worried about coming into uni was like, what if I'm in my classes and I like hate them? Like, what do I go from there?
Yeah.
But I'm in it right now, and I honestly like the reason why I'm able to study for such long hours is because I do truly enjoy what I am studying. And I think one of the biggest like parts of business that I feel like a lot of people kind of overlook is that business is genuinely the fundamental to like everything in the world, like every single thing, like even medicine is a business, like education's a business, law, like everything is related to business, which is why I think when I take on roles in various companies, you'll see that and like coming from different places, like for Punt, for example, like I'm co-head of finance, so that kind of ties in med to business. And so I think like that's why business works for me is because I'm not really limited. Like I know the generic pathways are like finance and accounting. And like as much as I would like explore that, there's a lot of room for the context that I'm doing it in. So yeah, I feel like it's kind of like I do enjoy what I'm doing. I think I have found my passion, but I guess like I'm still looking for the context in which my passion can be applied to. If that answers the question.
Makes sense. It's a weird but unique perspective I've like never really heard from before. Makes sense. Okay. Well, Namir, do you have would you say your biomed is passion?
Uh,
Or
I
something
think
else?
when I was growing up, I think research kind of was always the thing. And for you, it was probably like engineering CS initially. Um, and I think UOttawa was ultimately the decision that I chose because I didn't end up applying to like these big name programs like Queen's Health Sci or Mac Health Sci. And I heard like UOttawa has so many like gateways and pathways within it that can help like someone who wants to pursue medicine easily. So that was kind of the main thing. Plus living at home, even though the commute is brutal. Obviously Jordan knows it's like hour there, hour plus sometimes depending on if your classes finish at like 4 or 5 at the end of a work day, everyone's at the train stop and you're all crammed in together.
Terrific.
And tuition compared to Carleton, which was obviously another valid choice, tuition at Carleton is slightly higher. So the choice ultimately was UOttawa. Then I was offered a grant to attend to UOttawa, so that was also an added bonus. But you, Jordan?
Oh, well, damn. Okay. Well, that was a nice answer. Yeah, the commute is bad. I will say that. Like, I don't know if Lina or Manasvi, you guys have the same thing. You know, you guys probably live close to the campus. Like, Lina, you don't live close to
No,
your
I'm
campus?
actually living at home right now, so I have to commute to the other side of the country every morning and every evening. It's about
How long
two
is the
hours
commute?
each way.
Yikes.
It's not too bad though, because
Yikes.
unlike OC Transpo, um, commuting here is kind of comfortable. So, like,
You have the OC transpo in the Netherlands?
from my time in Ottawa. But
How
no, like
long?
so out of my commute, it's a bit of a bike ride to my first train station, and then it's like a short train ride to my next train station, and then it's like my next my next train is an hour, and then like 10-minute walk to the school. So it's like so in that hour, it's like a solid hour. So I have 2 hours out of that
Jesus.
4 hours that's going into actual study.
Jeez.
Also,
Oh
it's
Lord.
exercise. I'm getting
I
my
can
steps
only
in.
See, no wonder she's pulling all nighters. So when does she
No,
have
no, no,
time
it's
to
not. No, no,
study?
no. I do get in like a bunch of hours. Like I've tried to stay like between lectures and like I'm 2 free half days, like and the commute
Okay.
and like lunch hours and stuff. Like I do get hours studying. It's just not enough. Nothing seems to be enough right now. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I
proofs
get
are
that.
genuinely my worst fear in math. Like, I'm not really exaggerating there. So it's like suddenly every course A is proofs. So I'm not really like,
Where are you doing like those stupid proofs that like you'd see like on like TV back in the day where it's like prove 1 + 1 = 2 and stuff
no,
like
it's
that?
like,
It's
I
like so
think in our last lecture we were proving like if a subset is a vector space, or is if a subset of a vector space is a linear subspace. So yeah,
see, that's why I don't take linear algebra.
yeah,
That's why I
I
left it
thought it'd be
to.
over in 2 terms, but apparently like a bunch of other courses later in the curriculum are just linear algebra but worded differently. So yeah,
Jesus.
I'm gonna have to take this for a while.
Yeah, I'd say have fun with that degree. I'll say that. But yeah, to answer your question, I would say for me, it's mainly passion now. Like I know before, like I've said, I was always gonna do like I always wanted to become an engineer. I was gonna go the CS route. Like I loved doing computer science. Never really was into like mechanical or civil or anything like. So, and I was terrible at electrical like concepts when it came to physics. So I always thought about the computer science route, but like I said, I think it was on the last podcast we did where like I like went through like a big experience where I just changed my mindset of what I wanted to do. And I do enjoy it now. Like even though it is a bit of a grind, like it's the thing is I find fun and enjoyment in the grind. So that's what keeps me going. And I feel like a lot of people like they tend to like I hear a lot of people tend to say like they burn out and stuff like that. I also feel like well, I think that they tend to burn out because they don't have the same drive or they might have imposter syndrome or they don't actually enjoy what they're doing and they're just doing it just for means so end. So I think me doing it as like a thing that I've always like I wanted to do really badly, being fully passionate about it, wanting to be better than my parents who are both just nurses. I think that's what drives me to for the reason I chose
I
biomedical
can
science.
relate to that so much, like the grind. Okay, this is the first month, like I think we're 3 weeks in, so I can't really say yet. But like my 6 hours of sleep a night feels like really earned, like during weekdays. Like rest is nice.
Damn, you only take 6 hours?
Yeah, I'm like,
6 hours?
okay, I have training, archery training now. So some days I'm getting home like at 10 p.m.
Wait. Yeah, are you like on the archery
No,
team at
no,
your
it's
school?
like it's open training. I'm trying to join the association. They're
Oh,
still
okay.
teaching us like basic. Yeah. But
Okay.
like if I'm home at 10
Interesting.
p.m., I still have to eat dinner. So it's like my bedtime is the soonest, like 10:30. I might try to stay later at the library. So basically, okay, 6 hours a night is where it's at most nights. But like when my back hits the bed at night, it's like, the best feeling ever. Like I did not think I could appreciate falling asleep so much in
I
my
agree
life.
with that.
But like
I
but
That,
it
agree with
feels
that.
like I
that's
worked
valid.
hard today and like I made progress today. And that feeling is nice, I guess.
Yeah, of course. It's always the best feeling. And I think you can also like agree with Manasvi. Like I don't know how it is back in because you're in Western, so you're like in like London, Ontario. I don't know if it's like the same where like you guys just grind like all day, all night in like your program, and then once you hit the bed, it's like I could just finally like relax for at least 6 hours, hopefully 6 hours. I know you guys be
Yeah, I try
taking
to get 6 hours every night, hopefully. I usually 12 to 7 is what I've kind of been working with so far. But I actually, yesterday, when I was like pulling my all nighter, I was in, we have like study lounges on each floor, which I love. They're so pretty. I was there at like 3:30, I think it was, and someone needed to borrow a charger. And so after they took my charger, they were like, "Are you an Eng student?" Because like it's so typical that it's an Eng student like working such late nights. And I told them, I was like, "No, I'm at BMOS." And she literally gave me a look. She gave me a look and she was like, "So like, why are you studying?" And it was like, it was the funniest experience I've ever had because she was like, "Why are you up at 3:30 studying business?" So no, in my program, it's not like if it's. I wouldn't say the program's hard. It's really not. Like compared to other programs, and I've seen other people's schedules, it's not hard. It's just for me, I know how much effort that I need to put to get to a good grade because I will forever stand by this. I'm not smart. I just put a lot of hard work. I'm born dumb. And so there's just so much effort that I need to put to get to like where I want to be. And like kind of like I've been iterating, like IB exams actually traumatized me to a point where I will never ever recover from them. And I will never put myself in a situation like that again. So for me, it's just about like knowing how to pace myself so that I don't put myself in a situation where I'm like cramming and I'm stressed and I'm like, I'd rather do the all-nighters now than do that like closer when I don't have enough time to actually digest the information. But generally, no. Generally, like my program isn't like doesn't require this. This is just like
It's just
a
thing that you
personal
just,
cost.
I was about to say, yeah, it's just
That's
personal.
that's super
Okay.
relatable
I was
though.
good.
No, like I feel like my main motivation right now for working hard is to not be in that state of anxiety and uncertainty after you hand in a test and not knowing if you did well or not. Like for me, my main problem in high school was that there wasn't really a correlation between efforts and results. In the sense of like sometimes I'd work really, really hard, like an essay would start 2 months ahead and like do worse than I would if I started the night before. This was especially like the case for like physics and math as well, where like the more hours does not necessarily mean more results. Then I got to a point with myself is like, okay, I'm not doing this for better grades necessarily, but I'm doing it because I want to like be at peace. I don't want to be in that state of like, oh, I know that I'm screwed for my test on Tuesday and just like try to do something on my Monday night, whatever it is. Like I that mental peace is what I'm aiming for right now. But also it feels so abnormal to be studying.
Yeah,
Sorry?
exactly.
No, it
No, I agree with that. Like I feel that in my bone. That mental piece. Cause I've never had post text anxiety, post exam anxiety in my life ever. Like I've always come out of a test being like, you know what, like I'm gonna do fine. Like Ontario exams too at the end of the year. Like I was like, yeah, it's fine. For my yeah, okay. There's a yeah, even though I took risks for tests and exams, like I've never had post exam anxiety until I finished my IB exams. And genuinely, I have like even my parents were like, after I got my results and like a week after, they're like, damn, we didn't realize how like out of it you were because every night you're going to bed being like, what like that mental like stress that I went through after my IB exams, like literally I will never because I was just so even graduation, I didn't do like
Dang.
was like my parents hauled me out of my house for grad. My grad pictures turned out so bad. I think I got one good picture, one good one. That was literally, if you look at the live, it's my sister being like, can you stay in there and pose? Because it was like, I did not want to go until my result came out and I had like certainty. But I don't want to live in that kind of like stress or fear, like again now.
but it also feels
That's
abnormal
valid.
to be studying so much though. Like it feels like at some point
It really
I
does.
think I had this like Thursday or Friday I was studying and I just felt so bad in the evening because I was like, if I'm studying this much, I'm doing something wrong. But then it's either like I think it's because
No,
like
me too.
I don't see
Wait,
other people studying because I study on my own or it's
yeah, you're
something.
speaking.
But it feels like, okay, is this like, am I doing things properly or am I just being terribly inefficient? Like, why is this taking so long to get through? And it's like,
That's what I was thinking too. Wait, no, this was literally me.
yeah, it's a
That was
No,
literally me last night. Oh, that was me
you
last
guys
night.
make sense. Like you'll see like throughout the year that like it does become a pain realizing that like you feel like you're only studying. But I will also say that it is rewarding in the end. Like I realized like during my first semester, I'll tell you guys this actually. Fun fact, fun story. So I came into university, thinking I was all right, like doing really well in high school, 890, average. Thinking man, like I could do any test, no studying, because like you said, Lena, in high school you don't really feel like effort and marks really correlated. I barely studied for tests, get a 90, and then when it came to writing an essay or writing I forget what the other thing in English was called, but like descriptive writing, I'd fail miserably. So I was thinking like anything that had to do with math, science, I logged. I go into my first anatomy event. Anybody that took anatomy knows it's not, you can't get away without study. I went to there, barely studied, and I didn't do so well. I'm not going to say what mark I got, but I didn't do so well. And after after that realization, because all my friends were like, "Oh, we did pretty good," and I was like the odd one out. That's when I realized like studying is like one of the main focuses that I have to put into, even if you might have to sacrifice a few extra nights out or sacrifice, you know, maybe even less sleep. I wouldn't advise sacrificing less sleep. I'd mainly advise less going out, but sometimes those sacrifices have to be made to get the good marks. And it did feel better in the end when you took your final exam and you're like, "Yes, I felt well studied. Yes, feel good going into it, and I feel good coming out of it." That's one of the best.
Yeah.
That's,
I think like for me, writing my English and history exams last year, I've never felt more joy writing an exam. Like I was having so much fun writing my English exam. My history exams were like literally the questions that I prepped for perfectly. And I was writing there and I was like, let me yap. Like I was so excited to like write down my essay. And like that joy that I felt writing an exam felt really good. Like I want to be able to, this is going to sound so nerdy and I swear I'm not that nerdy. But it's like I want to be able to like enjoy going into an exam. Like I want to be able to be there and like look at all the questions and I want to be like, yeah, I studied for that and I did good and I'm going to get a good grade because that joy I felt and the dread I felt when I went into my bio and math exam, like the dread, like that 10 minutes where you have the paper, Lena, and they can't let you open it and you're just staring there and you're trying to see what the questions are through the white paper, like praying. Ah, yeah,
I will say,
can't
yeah,
feel
we
that
all
I
know
anymore.
that
will go
feeling.
back and add an extra reason for going to math and CS. Like so the coming out of the test part where you know you got a solution, or like when a question clicks, or when you're doing homework and you get the right answer when you check, it's like the highest of the highest. Like makes the entire like all the pain worth it. Or like when you're making like a really complex proof and like at the end the equations actually like make sense. I think that's like makes
But
up for all the struggle. Yeah.
I mean, it does. It does. Like a lot of questions are very difficult, and being able to walk through yourself answering the question, and then you find out that you get it correct at the end is very very much rewarding, especially during the exam. Okay. Well, that was a good getting to know a bit about you guys. I want to segue onto a more maybe deeper type of conversation that I've been thinking about, but I just wanted to ask you guys because I'm pretty sure I've been asked this before. I don't know if it was on a previous pod or it was just going out, but I wanted to ask you guys, what would you guys tell your younger self maybe a year or two ago, like when you might have thought you don't know what you want to do into university, you don't know which program you want, or you don't know much about the information. What advice would you give like your younger self to steer them into the right path that you think will give them the most satisfaction, or maybe they have the most satisfaction now, so it might be the path that you're on.
Okay, I can go for that one. But for me, like it's been a thing for a few years now. But when I'm super anxious about like thinking about what I'm gonna do or what's next or what's my path, like I call it a default plan. Like I know things will come up and my interests will change and my opportunities will arise that I did not plan for and stuff. But for my sake, I keep like a default plan of like, okay, if nothing changes, if I had to plan everything now, I would do this and that and that. And like it's also realizing like making a worst case plan, like in these cases, like what's like safest plan. I think everyone in this room, our worst case scenario is not that bad. On in the grand scheme of things, in like humanity and for our species, like I'm so grateful for this, and I know not everyone has this, but for me, like it was like my worst case scenario is not that bad. Like we're still in a first world country. Worst case scenario, you work at like a minimum wage job, eventually try to get like it will be tough, slightly tough to make like ends meet, but it's not a war zone. It's not like it's when like I have my parents supporting me. I'm not gonna like starve at night. It's like my worst case scenario is not that bad. So that takes like the survival instinct a bit out. But then also realizing like even in the middle ground, it's not that bad. Okay, I don't get into my dream program. I'll go to like an easier program to get into. I like sure I really want to go into CS, but I also have a couple other things I don't mind doing. I'm not passionate about, but I don't hate. So like I can go into that, and then if the career prospect, again, if my ideal career is not like available, there's like next where's like, and then also realizing that in 10 years it's not gonna matter. An extra year in university or an extra year in high school or an extra course is not really gonna matter. So it's like trying not to panic, because for me, I think I had so many breakdowns at my guidance counselor's office in like high school. I had like so many. Like I just put so much pressure on myself, and then I go, and then I just break down, tears, like ugly crying every single time. And it's like the default plans kind of help. Like, okay, worst case, I don't get into any of my trip programs. I'm gonna go to like what's the easiest program to get into a U Ottawa? Okay, I'm in. Like that's what I'm gonna. Worst case, and then worst case, I'm like I take a role that I'm not really into. That's like in Ottawa. Okay, like it might take a while to find a job. Okay, but in 10 years, it's not gonna matter. Like that kind of thinking, which helps for me. It's like genuinely like, what if I'm homeless? I think, yeah, it's a bit of like fear mongering in social media, and like, oh, AI is gonna take over your jobs and stuff. So for me, that was like there, but also genuinely like realizing that it's a two-way door. It's not a one-way door. You go into a major, and like worst case, you realize you switch to the program or transfer to another program or try to do grad studies and like something closer to what you like. There's so many possibilities there.
I love your optimism. I really do love your optimistic like mindset, because I also really am very optimistic. Like never really, I can understand why people might have a pessimistic mindset, but at the end of the day, I don't think that helps you with where you're trying to get to in life or what you want to do for your future. So I do love
I will
your
acknowledge
optimism.
though that this is like also very individually dependent. I'm so grateful to my parents, because like I was genuinely under like no pressure. It was like, okay, high school is that hard. Like you drop out. Worst case, their life continues. Like it's very much like there's no pressure, so that helps. But I'm guessing like on a self, like if in when there's no external pressure, these things works. These things work. But like, yeah, again, I'm grateful that my environment allowed that.
That's, that's nice. Sweet. Do you have like any advice you tell your younger self going into where you are
I mean,
now?
honestly, going into high school, I was pretty set on business. Like it was like I don't know how it happened to me, but I was pretty like I took grade 10 business in grade 9. Like I took
These-
grade 11 accounting in grade 10. Like I pretty much was set on it going into high school. So it wasn't necessarily about the career path. I was debating bio in grade 12. Like I did apply to a couple bio programs, but they were always like combined with business in some sort. So it was like business underlying. But I will say there were a lot of times in grade 12, so many times in grade 12, where I was like, what if I don't get into Ivy? Because it's competitive. I remember after my sister, oh my God, my sister has so many messages from me, like late nights, just being like, wait, what if I like screwed my essays over and I just like shot myself in the foot? Like, what if they wasn't perfect? Um, and kind of like, okay, looked very similar to what Lina said. I think it was just like understanding that my worst option like wasn't even that bad. Like my worst option was U Ottawa, like econ, concentrate in finance, do a co-op, get a good job, live my life. I think it again really helped for the fact that my parents put absolutely no pressure on me to get into a certain school, to get into a certain program. When it comes to my education, they were pretty like laid back because yeah. So I definitely think like definitely when it was going through like uni process and like getting in, it was definitely just realizing that my worst case scenario was like not even that bad. And it was like U Ottawa Commerce is like still an amazing program. Like I know so many people that still come out extremely successful from the program, and it's close to home. I stay with my family. I love my parents, so it's like it works out. Like everything works out. So yeah.
That's valid. That's valid. You always had like a parent through this. Namir, do you have any advice you would give your younger
I just
self?
wanted to say, like, I definitely agree with what Lena was saying, because like more recently I had to come across a situation of a friend of mine's who is a pre-med at U Ottawa pursuing biomedical sciences, and one of their parents was very close to losing their job. So he really had to reconsider like his options. Like obviously med school is such a long and treacherous pathway and there's so many risks and costs that come with it. So like it was like a huge strain on him where he had to obviously drop medicine because it wasn't a financially viable option to pursue like something else like business or something that would be fewer degrees in university and a stable job towards the end of it. So obviously considering like worst case scenario, that's like we're just so, gifted to be able to have this opportunity that a worst case scenario isn't the worst thing possible that will end our lives, but will be just less accessible and less what's it called? Less convenient for us. And I think that was a really good point. I started to like think about that while you were saying it. Like obviously research was like my main thing going in before I wanted to change it to medicine. And my like worst case I thought was just dropping medicine and pursuing research instead. But I realized that there's just so many other things that could have occurred and I could have done so many other things. And growing up, my parents were a lot more strict on me. So it was kind of like you have to pursue something that's, making money in the future. And obviously you were talking about like AI taking over your job as like some hopes or theory that maybe or not will happen. My parents were like thinking about that and they were like, computer science is a great option. Maybe you should pursue it, but also AI is growing so fast, blah, blah, blah. Like I didn't really want to pursue AI or computer science in the end. So, that's my little contribution. But I definitely agree with what both of you were saying about careers.
That is nice. That is nice. And I was also going to ask Lena, because I know you're doing CS and mathematics. And what's funny is, so earlier today, like, so I also work a retail job, if anyone didn't know. I work at like from like 6 a.m. till like noon or 1 p.m. And I was talking to one of my coworkers, and he actually finished a CS thing, like his like program. And he was telling me like the job market, although like going into it, you thought it was like really good. It's like he's saying that it's like really hard to make it out of CS nowadays with like a bunch of like the layoffs and like AI and stuff like that. So I was gonna ask you, Lena, do you know anything about that information? And do you have like maybe a plan to combat it, or would you say like you don't mind that there is like these like big problems? I'm not trying to attack you. I'm not trying to attack you, by the way, because I was almost going to go into CS. I was actually almost going to go into CS, but
Yeah.
like I was just wondering because I've also like wondered this like, oh, what about in my life if I went
So,
into CS?
this month alone, I got a few reels about homelessness and CS rats. This week,
Jeez,
this
I didn't hear
no,
about
this week I
homelessness.
got a reel about some guy who was homeless in San Francisco, and he was a senior JavaScript developer before he became homeless. So yeah, I will say that. And I think I also read an article recently about how CS majors are facing up to twice the unemployment rate of history majors. So no shade towards the history majors, but in all seriousness, I think I'm eyeing academia, so a bit of a different situation. Academia is likely not to be as fast to be replaced
Sure.
as like developer jobs. But also again, if genuinely because like I think there's value in being technical even if you don't end up working a technical job. Like I don't even know if I want to work as a developer. I think that's like one of my like last choices probably at the moment. I did play around a bit with like civic engagement in politics, and that was something that I was interested in. Business sounded like I also considered economics and econometrics program that's closer to home, 20-minute bike ride. But like generally like I'm pretty open. I likely will also be pursuing like grant education, like a master's
Go on,
or a
stop.
PhD, so I can there's room to pivot if things get that bad. But for like for now, I'm also seeing the value in the hard work of like, if you're going into a math degree, few people are willing to go into that, like go through that hard work, and that in itself is a valuable skill set, I think. So I'm kind of betting on that. But yeah, I also considered physics because
Damn, physics.
I read that physics majors were like high in demand in like machine learning roles for some reason. So I considered it for like the
I
job
can see it.
prospect, but then I realized I really hated writing labs, so I backed out. That was my main like. But I also like there is that aspect of like what's most in demand right now versus something niche. Had to ride the wave. I would consider, but apparently I really hate lab. But yeah, so
No, yeah. I didn't mean to attack you, by the way. Like I was, because I was almost gonna go out to CS, and like when he
It
mentioned,
didn't come off that way. It
yeah.
did
Also,
not come off
it's
that
really
way.
like a running
okay,
joke right now. I think like we walk into our programming class every single lecture with like, okay, here we go. I'm about to become homeless anyways. Like it is like it is a common like it is an active thing we're aware of. There's no yeah.
Yeah. It was funny because I have a friend who wanted to go into CS, and just Instagram knows what's going on, I guess. And I got a bunch of reels of like CS people also homeless. And I was like sending them to her, and I guess my algorithm just really picked up on that. So she's doing civil engineering now. It's just funny that you brought that up because it is a prevalent concern.
well, let me bring up a more lighthearted topic. So begin to leave off that. I was gonna ask you guys, well, everybody, I'll even answer this question. If you could swap lives with any fictional character for a week, who would it be, and like why? Like I can go first. And I've always like if I could swap lives with any fictional character, I've always said either A, Johnny Test, B, Kim Possible, but like obviously like myself. Like if I could be like in her life, Kim Possible, or C, actually to be honest, I've been thinking about it over again. I don't want to be the other person. I was gonna be like somebody in like the Marvel world, but to be honest, yeah, if I was living in New York or just living on a day-to-day life, I'd be. But yeah, Kim Possible, Johnny Test, those are like my main fictional characters. I was gonna ask you guys, do you guys have like any fictional characters that you like to be? What inspired you?
That's an interesting question. I'm like trying to look through like low key, like when you mentioned Marvel, I would low key wait. If I could switch lives with anyone, like does it wait, low key, I would be like Superman, but like Superwoman. I have like I don't know. I've been going through like a Superman phase recently. That or either Gwen from like Marvel, because I'm also really into Spider-Man. But like no, I was gonna okay, Sokka is staring at me right now because I have my poppets up. So when I was thinking, I saw Sokka, which is like from Avatar, and I feel like he's pretty cool. But like, could I be like the female version of Sokka? Because I like,
Yeah,
I'd want to be me. I feel like Sokka is kind of a
I guess
vibe.
like Kim Possible.
Hmm. Wait, but I'd look you like Toph kind of aches too, though. I don't know.
True.
No, let me think on that. I'll narrow it down.
And narrow it down.
I can't come up with any. Maybe like no. Okay. So one of my favorite shows ever, like anime. It's an anime. It's like Inazuma 11. It's like one of the only anime shows I've watched. But I probably want to be a soccer player in one of them. It's very random, but here's the thing. When I heard the question, my first thought was like, let me do something that I'm never gonna do in my real life. Because like it's an opportunity to try, and like the anime looked so fun. Like the game looked like really, really nice to like be part of. I don't know, it's a really inspiring show. I don't know if it'd be too childish to watch like at our age. But like it was a really good show. It's better than Haikyuu in my opinion. So
Wait, I have my answer. I have
Yeah.
my answer. I have my answer that I will stick by. I would be not Marinette. I'd be Ladybug from Miraculous Ladybug. Period. Not Marinette. Marinette's like she's interesting. Not I mean, love Marinette too, but Ladybug from Miraculous Ladybug. any day. Y'all don't understand how much that show changed my life. Anyone who knew me from literally like elementary school to middle school knows the tea behind Miraculous Ladybug. Yeah, I'd be Marinette, but like Ladybug. Not Marinette, Ladybug.
Oh, wait, hear me out. How about a villain? I want
Do
to
you
be
have
a
a?
villain for a week.
You can be
No,
anybody.
I want to be Ladybug. I want to be Ladybug.
No,
I
you know,
want to
like
be her.
Okay.
She's so cool, dude. She's actually so cool. Such a vibe.
Lena, you can be a villain.
I
I
don't know. I
don't.
can't come up with a
Okay.
villain that I with one idea off the top of my head.
You know, when I was younger, I always wanted to. This kid, no, this might sound weird, but I always thought like I wanted to be somebody like the Joker because I thought he just had so much swag. And I thought like it was just too cool because I was like a kid. I was like, I'm too cool for school. Like I just want to be cool. I want to be swaggy. I want to move like smooth and self. But like as I've grown, if I was like a school nuisance like the Joker, that would not be good as an adult. As an adult, it's just cringe. Do you have a fictional character at all or not really?
I was trying to think of something, but I think Grizz from We Bare Bears. I don't know, do you guys know that show? Probably not. Maybe. I was literally
No,
looking.
but explain him. Explain him.
He's basically
Explain him.
this bear. It looks like that. Where is it? He's basically this bear, and he's just so nonchalant. Well, he's not nonchalant, but he's chalant enough to be nonchalant. And he's like the leader of the bears. Like there's three brothers. There's Panda Bear, Ice Bear, and Grizz. And basically, Grizz.
Well, I think he's the only one with a name.
Oh wait, I think I watched it
Well,
on Cartoon Network at some
Yeah,
point.
exactly. Cartoon Network. Yeah. But Grizz, like, he suits me so much as a person because he's like group leader, you know? Okay, never mind. I'm going to move to my next character.
No.
No.
No. That's good. That's good. Because I was going to go somewhere with this question. Like, it was a kind of weird question to ask outright, but remember, you're going on the right track. I was going to ask, do like these characters resemble you in any sort of way or inspire you to be something like a characteristic that they have? And you were about to say, because you say Grids, he has good leadership. He's a good team leader. I don't know why Manasvi just like laughing like crazy. This is the only thing like
Wait,
got me
you're a
laughing.
leader,
Why are you
dude.
laughing
Like,
at my leadership qualities?
as co-head of
Okay, all
finance,
right.
as a group
I'm a
leader,
group leader.
the amount of times you don't need to be a bear to be a group leader. You could do that right now.
No. Like
Like,
it's a quality that he
Yeah.
likes. Quality.
And I'm a good
Okay,
co-head,
that's
by
good,
the way.
that's good.
Okay, I'm very. I literally at the end of meetings, I provide myself as a resource for you Ottawa students. Hmm. Hmm. I guess
Oh
where you
no,
were.
no, I
You were
volunteered
gone.
you up for
You were
that.
gone. You went to a
I
concert.
volunteered you up for that. I said if anyone has any questions, you can ask Namir. And then you know what you said? You know what you said? You were like, you did that like thing that you went like that. And I was like, okay, never mind, don't ask.
No,
That.
W
I said that's what you
W
did.
Club B.
Anyway, I think Grizz
W Club.
Grizz is just such a fundamental character. I feel like I was born Grizz, and my brother's like Ice Bear, because Ice Bear is like really quiet, but he's very skilled. Like my brother was born very skilled, but me, I was born like Grizz. Like at first I was really stupid, but then eventually like I was like street smart, not street smart, but like I was like half book, half street smart.
You were just
Yeah.
smart. We're just
Well, life smart is that's a touchy topic. I'm not really life smart, but like you get what I mean. Like I started gaining those qualities, but Ice Bear was from the get go. You know what I mean? Okay, never mind.
I just have one question about the show.
Yeah.
Is Grids the only real name? And everybody else
Um,
is just a bear?
Well, I only call Grizz because that's his name, but I'm pretty sure Ice Bear is Ice Bear, but Panda might have a name. I think. So I will double check that for you after. No doubt.
Lena, do you have a reason why you chose
Well, no, I went
Rangers?
quite the opposite actually. So my first thought of the question was like, oh, I'm not gonna be something that resembles me because that's like I'm already me. So it was like I'm gonna do something that's like that I would never do in real life because when do you get the chance to do that experience again? Hypothetically, there was like venturing into the unknown. So I guess I went for like the actual opposite of what I'd go for, or like something completely unrelated with what I plan to do with my life.
Totally get that. Honestly, is there a reason why you chose your character?
Ladybug. Okay, honestly, I think this is gonna sound so corny, and it kind of is, but like, guys, Miraculous Ladybug Loki changed my life. Like, that show was like, I love that show with my entire heart. Like, that show is like the epitome of my childhood. Like, I love it. Like, I know it's become like kind of insane now. I think I was like wanting to rewatch a couple of episodes recently. I don't know what's going on. But like when I was like 10, like this show was like my day one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just to pay just to pay respect to that life-changing aspect of my life, I would be Ladybug. It's such
No, that's valid.
Ew.
That's
Hey.
Watch the show because of my sister. That's why I was kind of laughing at it, but that's
Wait, what?
no,
I didn't catch that one.
nothing.
No, say it back. Say it.
No,
Say it.
no. We're
Rewind. You know, I'm gonna see the footage at one point anyway, so just say it now.
oh yeah. But I'm not gonna explain. I'm not gonna explain. Okay. I'll give one more question before we end the show because I know we're a little short on time. I know Namir has things he got to do. So I was gonna ask you guys. So, what would you say is like? Because you guys are both newly like adapting to your new environment and stuff like that. You know, living away from home. I mean, Lina's living across the whole world from where she was. Manasvi a bit of 10 hours away. So I was gonna ask you, what's like one like habit that you think you've already picked up from like being where you have that has like changed the way you see like life as it is, or what you've like changed your perspective on life already if you haven't. I know it's only been 3 weeks, but like I'm just curious.
I don't know. Is like this is not a deep answer. Do you want like a deep answer? Or do you want like
It
a
doesn't matter.
genuine, like realistic
Give me
answer?
any answer. Give me any answer.
I didn't realize like how fast like dust accumulate. Like I've been pretty good with like cleaning my room, right? Like I'm pretty good with that. But like I'm like sweeping my floors every night, and I'm not even at home most of the time. Like I'm out, like I'm in the study lounges and stuff. And like dust accumulates fast.
Oh,
Like I
that's
never
valid.
understood. Like I never understood like why my mom was like, you know, sweeping the house like every other day. I'm like, it's literally fine. Like I don't see anything. Like it looks good. But then now that I'm like living in my own space and I'm like kind of like getting used to that, I'm kind of like realizing like it's hard to low key like take like especially because like I'm kind of sick. If you can't tell already, I have been sick for a while. It's not getting better. But also, like, just like taking care of yourself when you're sick, like, that's hard. Like, that's like, I don't know, just like, it's hard to take care of yourself and like your surroundings, like living alone without your mom, without your dad. Yeah.
Do you have like
Weird answer.
this might be a little irrational on my end, but do you have like the feeling like when you're sick, like you feel like you want to just drug yourself like with medication, but like this with medication, but like you know that you can't because you might run the risk of like ODing and stuff like that. Do you ever get that fear, or like is that just
No.
like yeah, that's
I suck at taking medication, which is why I'm still sick. Like, I'm supposed to be taking cough syrup like every single day. Like, probably should pop in a Tylenol at night. It's just like it just takes too much effort and time to like. I need to put the cough syrup in the thing, put like water in it. Like, it just takes
Too much
effort and time. Because okay, listen. Hear me out. I've been so locked in. Like, I've been getting back to my dorm at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. At that point, I'm done. I'm knocked out. Like, I want to go straight to bed. And then you're telling me. So it's kind of the opposite of your question. It's not, bro. Why are you in
No,
shock? Why are
okay,
you
I
guys in
carry
shock?
3 painkillers on me. If the pain is bad enough, I'll take all 3. 3 different ones. Like, I'm at max. Okay.
Bro.
Like, I'm at, like, I know the max dosage for by heart for all my
Wait.
painkillers.
Bro, I don't take painkillers. Like, even when I'm like dying because of cramps and stuff, I'm walking. My campus is like up a hill. Like, you legitimately, it's like a trek up. And even in the midst of all of that, I will not pop in. Because it's just, like, okay, one, I look, you don't know where they are. But two, it's like, they're somewhere in my thing. But it's like, it just like, no, it's funny how wait, so Lena, are you saying like you're good at taking medication? Like you over?
Oh, you
No,
back?
but like I really hate pain, so I'm taking pills if they help.
This is gonna start getting illegal. Yes.
No, but I'm
It's
only
just gonna start getting
no. I
illegal.
looked it up. It's safe. The combination that I'm taking is safe.
How? Like wait, I need to clarify this. Why did my answer like reflect you guys?
No, like, first of all, this is just, I've always said this, like, '06 is the last good generation. And, like, Manasvi
What?
keeps proving, like, me right by saying it's
See,
hard to take medication. And then
okay, it's not
until,
hard to take medication. It's not. I'm just like, it's not that bad. Like, it'll get better by itself. Like, it's not. Like, I'm not that sick. Like, it's fine. Like, it'll get better by
Bro,
itself.
then
My
what's the
immune
point in us
system's
being
got it. You know
doctors
what I mean?
if you're just gonna magically
Yeah.
get better by yourself? Yeah, well, like what? There goes my career.
There goes my
There goes my
job, bro.
job.
I'm gonna end up homeless, bro. I'm gonna end up
Okay,
homeless.
but me, okay.
Oh, that's okay, Lena. Do you have a habit that like you probably picked up like being in the Netherlands? It can be just a random thing that Dutch people do.
Okay,
It can be something deep.
you're gonna hate '07s even
Wasn't
more
making
after
it.
this. But I realized I'm really too lazy to make food 3 times a day. So I drink. I drink protein drinks.
Yeah.
Two protein
my
drinks to get through the day. And then eat like one meal at 10 p.m.
Okay, that's not me. But I like.
No, okay, it's too much. It's too much. I've eaten like I eat twice a day if like my parents are around or something. But if they're not, like if I have to make food myself,
Okay, I will be
like,
checking up on you then.
one meal a day.
Yeah, I see people do that.
I kind of get though that cooking is hard. Like, I think that's like,
No,
that's
it's
like
not just the
that's valid.
cooking.
Like, I don't think I would be eating well
I cook
either
once
if
a
I had to
month
cook.
because like I meal
Bless
prep,
the Lord, I don't.
but like heating up the food is not easy either.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
too many steps. So
Oh my
here
god.
we are.
Oh my
Also-
god.
Wait, low-key why do I
No,
actually
but the
low-key
protein
relate to
drinks
that?
actually work.
There's
my,
like,
my fridge is all like protein drinks right now. Like, and it's like, I don't know. It has enough energy to get me through the day.
Oh my god.
this
Why is 06 the
is
last
like,
generation? How we say heating up food is hard?
y'all should see the 08s and the 09s.
Wait
Like,
till you
this
see
is like-
enough, actually. It's even
Oh.
worse.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is like,
okay.
this is like normal.
Okay.
No, it's just, okay, you know what? You know what? You guys cannot be speaking. You try living alone and then you can come. You know what? Wait. Hold up. Have you guys, okay, we actually, I don't know, maybe you guys have, but like you guys seem to have like very supportive parents that like take care of you, help you. You try living alone, taking care of yourself, like taking care of your body and see how hard that actually is.
No, I'm not having a problem with you guys saying like you don't cook every month, or I mean you cook once a month, or like you like, to be honest, why no, but like why like Lena doesn't cook, like cooks once a month, but I'm having a problem with like the excuses you guys are coming up with. Like, I can't heat up the food. it's, it's crazy. But then that's fine. That's besides the point, you know. You know, it's a new generation. I see me and Amir have to come save everybody, you know, who gets sick. You know, we have people thinking that they can just get miraculously just better.
Bro, it's
Make-
okay.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That's why I'm gonna make
Bro.
the Jordan medication, and it's gonna just cure. It's gonna be one pill solves all of it. Don't worry.
She'll be too tired to eat it.
We do have to. Oh, see, already. Okay, whatever. So we're in there, and we're at the end of the podcast. You know, I know it was pretty good chat. I mean, it was pretty informational. You know, people that might want to get into Ivy or the Netherlands, you know, you guys got to see what the lifestyle might be like, whether it's cooking, whether it's advice, whether it's what the course sequence might be. So happy you guys got there. Okay, Namir, do you have any other question you might want to ask these people?
No, I think that was really good. I learned a lot about the both of you. I think this is great, especially your habits, eating habits, which is horrendous. I think Jordan would probably realize that better because he's in a lab working with people who probably have these types of eating habits and know how bad it is. So, you know, I'm glad you guys were able to come on the podcast. And yeah.
No, yeah, we're happy to have you guys on. I do remember them. We do need a quote of the day. Do need a quote of the day. So wondering if each of you have like one quote. It's just a staple of our podcast, how we end it. Everybody usually gives a quote. I don't have one personally, so I'm hoping you guys have one.
Okay, this is super basic. Very, very basic. And I'm so sorry. But
It's fine.
I
It's fine.
have like what like I guess the actual quote that actually exists is like the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago and the next best time is now. I have a thing where like I struggle to start, and like especially when I'm living alone and like there's not enough like there's no external I guess motivation and it's not New Year. It's like I need some sort of like motivation to start. So that's like one quote that I actually look back on. Um, but also, okay, I have a doc of like called affirmations with a bunch of like quotes that like I actually like add to every once in a while and I do look at. But one that's like I'm really needing this week is like telling myself that this is me getting better when it feels uncomfortable. Of like whenever I'm like doubting myself or whenever it feels like hard or whenever it feels painful or like whenever it feels like I don't know, whenever there's an obstacle or a challenge, I'll just tell myself like, okay, this is just the process that I'm supposed to be trusting, right? So yeah, that kind of like puts it into perspective, makes it a little easier to get through, I guess.
It's a valid quote. It's a valid quote. That wasn't mundane at all. That was actually very valid. It's actually very honestly. Do you have a quote or save it?
What?
No,
No, I do have a quote. It's like low-key kind of basic too, but I feel like it really ties well into the question that you were asking about like if you had to give advice, like how you get like if you have to give advice to yourself and like all of that. Like one of the biggest mottos that I literally like I live my life by is like whatever comes to you will come for you. Like whatever's meant for you, like it'll come for you. And so I like live my life by that because if it's meant for me, and obviously like I'm not saying like don't put in the effort, like don't like work for it, but like you're working for it, you're putting in the effort, you're like trying your best. And if it still hasn't come to you, then it just wasn't meant for you. And maybe there's like another one that I feel like ties well into this is like rejection is redirection. So it's like
I like.
whatever's meant for you will come for you. And that gives me comfort in life and gives me peace of mind.
Those were both valid quotes. I don't know why you guys were saying they were basic. Those were actually pretty valid
Yeah,
quotes.
not
Apparently
anything
the
crazy,
older
but
generation or the younger generation has rebranded everything as cringe and corny. Like there was
yeah,
literally an episode on Emma
yeah.
Chamberlain's podcast about like trying to make quotes cool again or something. Like where she was going through like Pinterest quotes and
Oh,
trying to like
yeah.
see if they're actually cringe. It's like, yeah, I actually hate the calling everything cringe trend. One of my quotes is embrace the cringe. It's so like it's so disheartening when everything you want to do is like called cringe. And obviously like people will call things
Yeah.
cringe depending on what type of crowd it is. But like I feel like it's been holding everyone back from like, okay, what if it's cringe? Like learning to look past that is very hard. It's like, yeah, I think it's held me back from doing a lot of things, and I think it continues to hold a lot of people back from
Mhm.
doing.
Yeah, I think we're just very self-critical and like self-judgy, like, and including myself. Like, I've been going through an identity crisis, like you all have witnessed, but it's kind of like just we're very self-critical and very
And these
self-judgy.
popular labels don't help.
It's just something that social media kind of puts in
Yeah,
at
like
you.
that.
Yeah.
Everything is labeled as a red flag. Everything is labeled as a beige flag, apparently. Cringe was another one. I don't know. Everything like icks. Like I'm like
Yeah, like everything that you do is getting categorized
Yeah.
in like a box that like kind of like fits a stereotype. It's kind of like it's
and
yeah, it's
social media is
interesting.
making a lot more of these like mainstream
Well,
as opposed to just like the old mainstream. I was like, there's a new mainstream every week. It's very like I think that's like one of the obviously we know it is one of the biggest challenges for like youth today and students today, but like it's generally like, the impact is insane. And like yeah. And then you have to be hating to be cool. So like yeah, it's such a negative like cycle that we need to acknowledge more, I think.
That was a very interesting tip from both of you. Never thought of that side of the generation, how like everything might seem as like you're being placed into a box. Everyone wants to place other people into a certain box. And then as soon as they get judged back, they feel mainly offended a lot of the times. That's very interesting. I wish we could talk about it later. I wish. But we do have to end the pod, unfortunately. So it was nice. It was nice having you guys on the podcast, Manasvi and Lina. You guys were very respectful guests. We loved chatting with you guys. You guys brought very insightful, actually, type of content. So I do like that a lot. If you have anything you want
No,
to,
I think it was really great getting to hear both of your perspectives on everything, your eating habits too, and then your kind of generational quotes that drive you a little bit and your mindset, which I thought was very insightful. Especially the cringe thing. I definitely agree. The cringe thing is huge, especially for the 07s that are coming to U Ottawa this year. That's literally all I hear, and I get pissed, so I stop talking to them. But yeah, overall, thank you guys for coming on the podcast. It was really amazing.
Thank you for having us. It was a very nice conversation.
Yes,
But
thank
yeah.
And Jordan
Oh,
is
it's a
gone.
pleasure.
let's go, buddy. All right. Thank you guys.
guys.
We'll see you guys next time. You guys will know.